It's time for the Mic'd Up Podcast with your host.
I'm Mike Constantine, your Tampa Realtor, and this show is for local entrepreneurs to showcase their businesses and discuss the successes and setbacks of running a thriving business.
You're listening to
The Mic'd Up Podcast.
Welcome back to the Mic'd Up Podcast. Today's guest, Ryan Owens.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Awesome to have you here. I appreciate, you reaching out, and we're going to try to do something a little bit different today.
Oh, it's going to be good today. Flipping the script, right?
Absolutely, we are. So Ryan is the marketer for Legacy Title Services, Legacy Settlement Services.
There we go.
He's a brand ambassador for Jordan Lung over at JL Video and the co-host of the Real Mac Moves podcast. So he is no stranger to microphones and being in front of a camera, and I don't think you've ever met a lens that you didn't like. So,
No, not at all. I'm not scared of any of those lens. Hey, lens. Yeah, I love them.
So, yeah, today, we talked, and we're going to do something a little bit different for the first time on my podcast. I'm going to be the interviewee.
Look at that.
So, let's let her rip, Tater Chip. It's on you, man.
Let her rip. So the reason that we're doing this today is because Mike, as you know, is not only the host of the Mic'd Up Podcast, but just an excellent video marketer. Top video production. I haven't seen you do too many cell phone videos. Your stuff is very, very well done.
All done on cell phone.
All done on cell phone?
My wife films it, edits
It's
it,
high
all
production.
on a cell phone.
Your wife knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's so many agents in the area or just in the country that need to be taking advantage of this video marketing thing. And you're one of the top people I think about. You were just on a panel the other day, and I know you were running that panel because you are the top video marketer in the Tampa Bay area. You get my vote for sure. So I wanted to ask you some questions today. We're going to knock it out. Conversational here on the Mic'd Up Podcast. But what I want to know is what really got you in this game of video marketing? What really got you going? What inspired you?
So what inspired me to get into this, I fought it. I fought it for the longest time because I don't like the way that I look on camera. I just don't. And I think that about 90% of people don't. And so I sat back and, in the brokerage at the time, I had a broker that was every day I'd walk in and it was a new TikTok video. Mm-hmm. Every day I'd walk in and it was, I don't even know what it's called, where they chew the glasses together or they hit them and then boomerangs, whatever it is.
Boomerangs,
and then I would go home at night and then I got a wife that was a nonstop TikToker. So TikTok Jamie took off. And so I got tired of going on listing appointments and saying, you're TikTok Jamie's husband. I'm like, time to step my game up a little bit.
You're right. Okay.
So my creative wheels started going and I've always had a very creative mind as far as video. I can write a commercial in a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I can rewrite lyrics to songs very quickly. It's just something that's always come natural to me. Getting in front of the camera was a struggle. When I first did it with Jordan Lung and JL, they brought out the best in me because they know they are a professional production company and his business has exploded.
Yes.
But they got me out of my comfort zone just by doing what they do and giving me direction. That's like the military side of me. Give me a direction. I'm going to run with it, get it done. And then that translated into, my wife saying, hey, I can film you on a cell phone and I have all these different apps that I can use that are going to make it look exactly the same. Mm-hmm. And so then we started doing that. Never looked back. Still having fun, getting ready to film another one probably next week.
So you were in the environment. Wife's taking videos. She's what'd you say, Jamie? You mentioned there was a name before Jamie.
TikTok Jamie.
TikTok Jamie. You got TikTok Jamie. You had a broker who was doing videos. So it was around, and you were seeing their success, or that people are identifying you with Jamie. It's like it's time to go.
It wasn't necessarily the success side of it.
Okay.
I was getting pounded every day. I would walk in, and it was like, Mike, when are you going to do a video? When are you going to do a video? When are you going to do a video? And I fought it for so long. I'm not a person that's ever been scared of a challenge, but to be honest, video scared me a little bit. Because I was like, what if I come across the wrong way? There's a lot of realtors that will kind of use things against you, and it sounds terrible, but they do. So if you say something on video, you walk into a listing appointment like, look what this guy said. I do everything in a parody. I do it for fun. My clients love it. I've had some tremendous successes with a lot of the music video stuff because I look around at the landscape, and I want to see what other realtors are doing, and then I'll do the opposite because they're usually terrified to get out of their bubble. Mm-hmm. What I've found in the world of video, especially here in Tampa, because that's where my main hub is. And this is going to come across terrible, but I don't care because I'm just a very blunt person.
Bring it.
everybody wants to have, they want to be like the Super Bowl champion of sympathy. Oh, look how hard my life is. Oh my God, you should feel bad for me because I have a health condition. Oh my God. It's like they try to outdo each other every week. And look what I've overcome. You know what? I don't care how small or big the issue in your life is. To the person it's affecting, it's the biggest thing in their life to overcome. But I'm also a big believer, some things stay private.
Mhm.
I don't post all over, the internet. Oh my God, my wife's the most amazing person ever. To me, she is, and I want to keep that stuff private.
Yeah.
I don't like to just, babble about, things that I've overcome or that we've overcome as couples, health conditions, things like that, things from the military that I had gone through. That's, to me, that's something I deal with internally, but that's the one common thread that I see when people get on video. They want that attention for things that have gone wrong in their lives, and some of them cause their own problems.
Absolutely. And you leave it up to people like me because I'm talking about a lot of that stuff. I'm getting really vulnerable. I'm talking about spirituality. I'm talking about the struggles with the wife. So I'm kind of the opposite of that. But I'm talking about the solutions that have been gained from that instead of the sympathy needed from the story of, hey, look what I've gone through. It's about, here's the solution that worked for me. Hey, there's a lot of negativity online. Maybe this particular thing in my network might help you. But we all have a different lane that we're going to be able to give. And I see a lot of people doing just what you're talking about right there. The sympathy, and it's like, I need attention. We're all kind of grabbing for attention, but video marketing is like a currency when it comes to attention. Mm-hmm. It's giving you new opportunities, right? You said your clientele love your videos. They're giving you a lot of good feedback. Tell me some good stories that have came about from having that video production and some of the responses that you got from clients. Like, what do you hear when you make these videos for people?
So I gauge the success of a video based on what the feedback is. The most memorable story that I have
There we go.
is I filmed my Forrest Gump video. That was
Which
the first one
that
I
was
ever
one of my
did.
favorite video. I love that video. So good.
That was the first one that I ever did with JL and with
Yeah.
Jordan and his team. And I got calls from, I believe it's 8 different countries from realtors.
Wow.
8.
Wow.
And they were calling me from, I got calls from like Australia, Ecuador, Europe. I mean, you name it. And they're like, I saw what you did. How the hell did you think of that? And then who did you film it with?
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, this is what I did. And they go, well, how did you think of the lyrics? I go, I just had fun with it. I go, I got out of my own head, and I talked about this at the Tampa Bay Real Producers the other day with Don Hill, is the biggest battle people fight is between their own ears. Because
Oh, yeah.
you're like, I want to do this. I want to, mainly like losing weight is like a big one for everybody.
Yeah,
I want to lose
huge.
weight. I want to lose weight. And then you have that little in the back of your head going, oh man, there's some potato chips in the pantry right now that seem pretty good because it's
Those
11
get me.
o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But it's the battle that you fight within your own mind. So when I started getting those phone calls from, all across the country, and I came across some other really amazing agents, one guy that's out in Kansas City, Jason Rains. And Jason, I saw what he was doing, and he's done video that I didn't do before. So I'm like, dude, I got to call this guy.
Yeah.
And then he's got another guy in his brokerage. And then the head of his brokerage, Dave Nichols, freaking awesome. And I understand why the brokerage is as successful as they are, because they just have fun. There's no
Yeah.
restrictions
Success
there.
leaves clues.
Correct. And so, for me, going back, you asked what was most memorable, the phone calls getting from other countries, but I went on vacation with my family, and then we went with another family that was with us. We went to Montana, and it was their first time going to
I
Yellowstone.
always wanted to go there.
So it's ridiculous. You're never going to want to come back. That's where I will retire one day.
It's beautiful.
It's really cold.
God's country.
But it's worth it. God's country, you're right. You go
Yeah.
to Yellowstone, it's the greatest place on earth, and I've fortunately been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
That place is just pure heaven. So we get into this, there's not many hotels in West Yellowstone.
Okay.
There's, I think, 10 maybe, and they're all tiny, whatever.
Yeah.
So we walk in, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and the guy behind the counter, he goes, "You're Forrest Gump." And I sat back,
Yes.
and the
In Montana.
the husband of the
Yellowstone.
yeah. So
Wow.
so Dylan, the guy that was traveling, he's the husband of my CPA.
Mm-hmm.
We're traveling with their family. He goes, "Are you freaking kidding me? It's 11 o'clock at night, and somebody knows you where we go." So I'm sitting there, and I asked the guy, I go, "How do you know me?" He goes, "Oh, well, my dad is a realtor in Tarpon Springs, and he shared the video with me. So to know that it went all the way out to Montana, And first of all, it was really funny because I mean, it's like 11 o'clock at night and this guy
That's
is just
hilarious.
sitting there checking people in. He's
Yeah.
like, "You're Forrest Gump." And then there are other people in the lobby going, "What in the world?" So the moments like that is kind of what drives me. Most recently, the one that got me the most is like Theo Papapanos from Christo's. His family owns Christo's restaurant. It's been the #1 restaurant around here, diner for,
Yeah, I've heard of
quite
it.
a while.
Okay.
And he asked me to do something that I had never done before, and so did another friend of mine. They wanted me to incorporate their children into the video,
Yeah.
and the feedback that I got from writing, we literally, I shouldn't say that, we didn't write the script, we improv'd it as we went through the house. Every time I see his kids now, I saw them last night. They were at my restaurant. Every time I see them, they just go crazy, like about videos and how much fun
Yeah.
we had and all that stuff. And to me, that video probably meant the most to me because when you can get kids excited about something,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and I want to do more of that, but at the end of the day, I let the client choose. If they want a music video, they want me to do a parody, they want me to do something. There's really no boundaries.
So fun. Yeah, I love every video that's fun tends to be the thing that keeps me motivated and that people enjoy the most, and probably the most shareable videos too. I mean, have you found that stepping up with your production on video, what gets the most shares? Because obviously that video was shared that someone saw you all the way in Yellowstone at a random hotel, thousands of miles away from your home.
Yep.
And that was because it was a shareable video where you found in that you're obviously dipping into other people's networks by making these videos. So it's not just your network getting a hold of all the fun that you're having. They're shareable, and now everyone else is seeing it. So have you found that the fun videos are getting the most shares, or the educational videos, or you do have a lot of fun in your videos? So.
The humorous ones.
Yeah.
So the humorous ones and the ones where I make fun of myself are the ones that, anything self-deprecating people tend to love because
Absolutely. I
it
love
peels
it.
back the onion on yourself. And when you peel back those layers and you let people see the real you, what I find is when I see videos and I talked about this at the Tampa Bay conference. To me, you've got to set yourself apart. You've got to do things different because there's too many realtors and they just get tuned out. And if you start watching how many people interact with them after they do the same thing, hey, I'm at 123 Main Street. Check out, it's got a front door.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my God, the front door. And look at this kitchen. People get tired of that.
Just listed, just sold. This might have been in the same category. Posting the just list, just sold. Here we are at 123 Main Street.
It's internet vomit. And they just literally just spew it out there just to say, I'm posting something every day. I'm posting something every day. I don't post that often, and I do it intentionally because unless I have some content that is really, really good to share or some content that is helpful to people that are not in the real estate world, because I also write articles for multiple publications throughout Tampa Bay, and I write articles about market conditions, how to choose the right realtor, what to do if you have an issue that you need to resolve with someone that represented you. All these different things. I interview attorneys for them. I interview title companies to talk about, ladybird deeds and all that. But I give them content that's valuable. And if it's not valuable or funny, I generally don't do it.
So you're a great copywriter. You're someone who can come up with creative ideas very, very quickly. Your mind is set for that type of thing. The classes that I give and a lot of the agents, they come to me and they say, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what content to actually put out there. And I love the fact that you're not just checking boxes. I need to post something today. That's not a strategy. That's not a video strategy. It's about coming up with something that's going to be super valuable, entertaining, the edutainment, that type of thing. I love that you're not just checking the boxes, but what is it that helps you create these content ideas? Obviously, you're a great copywriter, but any advice to people on coming up with great content? What is your strategy for someone that's not as good?
It's real simple. I live
Good.
by,
I love simple.
I live by the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah,
I'm not that bright, so I keep it simple, stupid.
Yes.
So I go back and I think of things in my life that literally made me laugh out loud. Back in the day
actual LOL. Yeah.
when Saturday Night Live was funny, they had some funny skits. It ain't funny anymore.
They did.
They
No,
haven't put
it's
out a
not.
funny skit in probably 15 years.
It's
but
been a while.
It's been a hot minute. But some of the stuff they did was pure gold. I mean,
Absolutely.
pure gold. And they've gotten lost. And so I'm going to recreate some of those with my own way, and I can rewrite it literally 5 minutes. MTV, when they used to play music videos, was actually a great station. And now it's
Yeah,
all
it
about,
was.
teen pregnancy moms and just terrible shows that glorify the worst in life, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They literally glorify irresponsibility. But if you go back and you look and my wife and I, we cut the cord to cable and we just started watching streaming TV and all that stuff.
Us
But
as
what's
well.
great is that you can go back. Like I watch the show Cheers all the time, and like
Yeah.
Night Court. She was watching.
Night Court's coming back. They're rebooting it.
They better have a real good Bull because Bull made that show.
Bull was amazing.
Bull was just
Yeah.
a big aloof. It was almost like the show Coach with Dauber.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are the guys that kind of made the show. But I look at that stuff and I'm like, we're missing that. We're missing that nostalgia. I did the same thing with my restaurant. We looked at it,
Glad you
and
brought
I
that
went ahead and I said, when I have other partners in it, and I said, we've got to make this place something to where it's not boring and it's different.
Yes.
And so far, we've been in this now for a little over 2 months. Everybody that comes in, they're like, this reminds me of Las Vegas. It reminds me of New York City. The decor that you put in, they go, it's interesting. I can look at every wall and it's like amazing because it just brings me back and I love it. And then we tie in the same music. So if we bring in music guests, we bring those music guests in that are complimentary of what you see on the wall. And so for me, going back to the video, I do the same thing. But you just can't, the thing is, you can't be scared. The second you get scared of an idea and you start editing it to make it boring, Reagan. So we both know Reagan Weiss, right?
Yes.
So Reagan texted me one day and he goes, I really want to know how you record these videos. I said, okay.
Secret sauce.
I
Give me your
said-
secret sauce.
I stand in my shower. My wife holds a microphone. He goes, you're completely full of shit. I said, okay. So we made a video showing how we recorded. It was a country song for the last one.
Yeah.
Made a video of
It's a
it.
good sound booth.
It's the only way that I can sound good, because I realize how hard it is. And I've talked to these guys here at the Called podcast studio about that. They have these microphones, and
Yeah, great
a
microphones.
lot of singers today have auto tune in different ways. Like if they sing without a microphone, they sound terrible. If they sing with a microphone that's tuned the right way, they sound incredible. And so
Absolutely.
I have to use what's available to me, and I have a shower. And so, if you listen to the first video I made, the first music video I ever made was Rio, which was a Duran Duran remake.
Yeah.
And it was stupid. It was so dumb. And all the neighbors are watching me and they're looking at my clients, and they're like, what's going on at your house? This is odd. And like, oh yeah, the realtor wants to film a music video. And you listen to the video, to the sound quality in that compared to the second one, which was for Anthony Pesch's house on Gunshot Drive, and it was a Bon Jovi remake. One was in the shower. You can hear the vocals.
Yeah.
The other one was like cats screeching. It was so awful. And so, yeah, man, it's evolving. It's getting better. But I kind of like that. I just kind of like that raw footage because
Absolutely.
when people saw how it was filmed, the number of realtors that reached out to me from other states and even in my own brokerage, and they're like, that's like genius how you did that.
Yeah, it builds your network, and also you also have the ability, because people are hearing this, like I got people from other countries, I got people around the nation, but guess what? You can take referrals from all these people too. There's still the ability to reap income from this attention, from this community that you're building, from this connection you're making with agents, other places. You're really creating a connection with people not only in local but further out in the nation too. You said something about using what you have, like you had the shower and whatnot. So I like to hear that, because so many people are thinking that they need, this is a beautiful studio we've got here right now. Some people think they got to start at the top, but you're making music videos in the shower with the microphone that you have, and not being afraid to do that, and then using that, and it's still making great content. Some people are afraid. Can you speak on that, of needing like the greatest equipment to get started on video?
It's all in your head.
It's between the ears, isn't it?
It goes back to what I said when we first started out. You fight the worst battle anyone will ever fight in their life is between their own ears. And if you can't win that
Agreed.
battle, okay, there's a great guy that I listen to on a very regular basis, David Goggins. He's a
Love
Navy
David.
SEAL, and he has an incredible story. But
Yes, he does.
the biggest fight you'll ever have is the one that's inside of your own mind, because most people lose it.
Yes.
Most people lose
Most.
that fight. They lose it with health conditions. They lose it with motivation. They lose it in business. They're too scared to take a leap. And so for me, I've never been scared of a challenge. Video did. It shook me a little bit. And I was like, oh God. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to come across. And I was really overthinking it. And the second I got out of my own way, it changed my business, completely transformed my business. You mentioned as far as like referrals. Well, in the world of real estate, yeah, you can get referrals from out of state and all that stuff. The amount of volume that I get in referral business sent to me from people I don't know. I've never met a day in my life. And they're like, I saw your video because I'm in a million different Facebook and other groups for real estate video production.
Awesome.
There's some real good ones on there.
Are you in RETV
So-
as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I was one of the first ones in that one.
Yeah.
And so in RETV, I post my videos and people are like, okay. And they'll private message me. How did you do that? Who did that? How did you splice it? All this good stuff. And I'll just tell them, I'm like, look, this one was filmed by a professional company. This one was filmed on a cell phone, a Galaxy S20 Plus.
Great phone. Great camera.
Right.
It just
And-
takes some simple techniques. You can turn that in. You can make amazing production with that.
It's
and
not
you
even
did.
that. There's apps. Like there's my
And
wife
there's apps
uses
that
a
enhance
Video
everything.
Guru. There's Video
Yeah.
Guru and Video Maker. You
Yeah.
can cut, add sound, add special effects, all that.
Yes.
Without her, I wouldn't have these videos because my wife is absolutely incredible at doing this stuff. And she's as creative, if not more creative than me, because she sees things in a way that comes through video. I'm a very surface level, very, analytical person,
Yep.
but the referral side of things has been off the charts just by being myself, having a little fun, having a little humor.
There it is.
And then I watch what other people do. There's a lady that's up in North Carolina. Okay. She does her own cooking show. She's a realtor
Yeah.
and she just talks about cooking on the go. And she's
passionate about cooking. You know that too.
right.
Yeah.
She may not have the humor side of things. She might not be comfortable with that, but what she knows is the kitchen. And the woman looks like she makes some pretty good damn food.
Yeah.
So people follow her. I mean, she
Yes.
literally has hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of followers. And she's been one of the top producing agents in North Carolina because people like that. It's in the world of banking. Before I got into real estate, they used to call it sticky products. Sticky products is Ryan comes in. Hey, Ryan, welcome to XYZ Bank. You're here for a checking account. Yeah, I got this voucher in the mail for $200 and you're going to open an account. And if I do my direct deposit, then I get the $200. Great. You know something? I just saw you pull in that brand new Palisade. What kind of interest rate do you have on that? I tell you what, we can refi that at no cost. And that's going to go down to, from 3% down to 2%. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it's going to save you a bunch of money. Fantastic.
Sounds good. Fantastic. Yeah.
So then in the world of banking, you go for the credit card, the savings account, the emergency account, the auto loan. Why? Because then that means they have to come back to you for all of those things. It's a sticky product. And then eventually they'll say, is your 401k owned and operated by your employer? Hey, let me introduce you to a financial advisor. So for me, sticky products is one, be memorable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you have to be memorable in whatever line of work that you do.
Yes.
Be memorable. Number two, have value. So
Yes.
you need to know your stuff. I get hit all the time for literally some of the craziest questions in real estate from other people's clients. And as a full disclaimer, this is after they have closed on the transaction
go.
because I can't talk to them while they're during a transaction.
Yeah.
And things like a big one that comes up in waterfront is like riparian rights, right? So riparian rights is how much of your property extends into the water and then what you can do with your property that belongs in the water. So if you can build a dock, you have X amount of feet and so on and so forth, according to the Army Corps of Engineers of what you can build, how you can build it, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how many people just don't study that stuff. Because guess what? We live in Florida. There's a lot of
A
waterfront.
lot of water. Yeah.
And it applies to ponds, lakes, rivers, ocean, doesn't matter. Know your stuff. So I always tell anyone that comes to me for mentoring or coaching, I say, you know something? The best gift that you have is 100% free. You can go on YouTube and research it, or that Florida Realtor magazine that comes every single month. Look in the Ask an Attorney section. I just read it this morning. I just got the new
that's
copy
great.
this morning.
That's a great tip.
Because you can see the cause and effect of what's going to happen. And if I'm not educated, I'm not the kind of person that doesn't like to have an answer when a client has me face to face. I will never, ever get caught without knowing the answer to a question, or at least having some knowledge to where I can guide them. And then the third one is you better have a damn good Rolodex, because being a sticky product, if somebody wants to go ahead and say, hey, I need a handyman, I need an electrician, I need a plumber. Hey, do you have a guy that can cut marble? Do you have a guy that can, fix a roof truss without being, yes.
Yes, I do.
I have somebody for everything. You want commercial carpet? Great. You want residential plumbing? No problem. And every single person in there, I personally have used, whether it's for my rental properties, clients' houses, because you're only as good as the people you refer, and it just takes one time.
Yeah.
You refer
One
one
time.
person, and they go bad,
The,
then
tr-
it's
the
on my
trust
name.
gets diminished there.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned motivation too, and I've come a long way in motivation. I used to want to be a motivational speaker. I loved Les Brown and Jim Rohn. He's still the godfather of my mentor out there for me, and then Zig Ziglar and these guys. But what I found out with motivation is that motivation doesn't create action. Action creates motivation. So you took action on the videos, and did you find that you were much more motivated by taking that action? Because you were. I want to dial down on this afraid thing that you were. You know, a lot of agents don't like how they look on camera, or think that they're going to be perceived a certain way. What was the thing? Was it action taking? What was that thing that really kind of cut through that fear? Did you just push? What was it?
So I'm very just, once I make a decision, I just go with it.
There. Okay.
So I always go back to the first time I jumped out of an airplane.
Yeah.
You know, I was in the military at the time.
Yes.
I will tell you, as soon as that door
Now, that's something I'm scared of.
as soon as that door opens, I was like, this is no big deal. That door opened, and all you hear is, and you look down. I was
Yeah.
like, oh God. And then I just look back because you got to do a tandem jump. I said, let's go. And we just jumped. And that was it. And it was the most amazing experience of my life. And I've done it multiple times since.
Amazing. That's awesome.
Only one that scared me, I shouldn't say don't, but jumping off the Swiss Alps where you run on the top of the mountain and then you just jump and the pair,
Woo.
and it shoots you up because the wind currents there. No, never do that one again.
Okay.
That one puckered
I
me up
might
to
jump
a
out
point.
of a plane, but I'm not jumping off the Swiss Alps. I
It was
know that.
cool. It was amazing to
Definitely
see it.
cool.
And it was very cold. No bueno. Not for me again. Did it once. My kids did it with me. My wife did it with me. It was awesome
Yeah.
to see as a family, but no.
Oh, the whole
Never
family
again.
did it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
No, my family's super adventurous, man. We
That's awesome.
whitewater raft. We jump off of things we shouldn't jump off of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate to have the family that I have.
I love that, and you are a great businessman, great family man. You also mentioned a great tip, man, too. You said the number one thing was be memorable, and I find there's two levels of obscurity. Obscurity level number one, which is terrible for people in business, is I don't know who you are, can't do business with you, can't flow you if I don't know you. So some people will make that great video, they'll put it out there, they'll do some production, maybe with JL video, or they'll just create something great on their phones, and they don't follow up. Then we get into obscurity level number two, is I forgot about you. Because you're not following up. You're not being consistent with the videos. So there's that first great video you made, and then you followed up to continue. That was that path to memorability, right? Is the consistency and coming up with these ideas, breaking through the fear, and continuing to do those videos. That's the memorable piece there, isn't it? Of not just making that one great video. I've seen some agents over the last couple of years during the pandemic or that era make that video. They stepped into it, and then we never seen them again. Totally forgot about them. So that's not happening with you. You're not seeing people not remember who Mike is. You're the resource. You're a one-stop shop, but you continue to show up. Have you found the power in that showing up with that memorability, being consistent? I know you don't make videos just out of the blue. You really dial these things in, you make them, and then you put them out. What has been your consistency level? How often do you put out a video? What is your kind of formula on that?
So it's not how often. You know, this was another question that was asked at the Tampa Bay event, but it's not how often. I don't put out stuff that often on Facebook, and the reason is because I'm a creature of studying what is around me. So I look at who's posting what, and I mainly look at the top agents, you know, and throughout Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And I'm a Facebook stalker. I'm 100% a Facebook stalker because I want to see what
me too.
happens how often they're posting, and then how many likes, shares, whatever that they're getting. So what I find is when they're posting like every single day, it goes from like 100 likes on Monday, and then it goes all the way down to like 5. People, they just tune you out. It's not memorable. It's the same thing every single time. So if you look at any of my videos, they always have at least 1 to 2 moments of shock value to where people are like, oh my God, I can't believe Mike did that. But it's memorable, and it gets them talking about it, because any press is good press, good or bad. And I've had some people that they took some issues with some of the videos that I did. Not really in a very negative way, but they just had, you know, questions like, why did you do that? And I said, well, why not? And what would you do differently? And then
Great questions, great follow-up questions.
And then I learned from it, you know, I learned from it. And so when I go and I talk to a potential client, and if they mention, hey, you know, I ask them, are you comfortable doing a video? They're like, yeah, we've seen your videos. We'd love you to try something. Okay, great. I say, I need to find the most memorable thing about your house, and then I key in on that. So every house if I go and list a house, I'm always going to have at least a photo, or if it's in the video, something that's memorable about that house. And if there's nothing memorable about it, I will bring something with me that will make it memorable. I'm not kidding.
I love that.
I had a house that was literally
Take notes on this.
I had a house that was incredibly boring. It was just your typical builder grade,
4 walls, furniture.
It was
hallway.
a box. It was a box with windows. It was carpet. There was nothing memorable about it. And so I told the owner, I said, look, do you mind if I have a classic car, got an old, 68 Mustang. I said, do you mind if I make this the front cover photo where I just put the car in your driveway and I shoot it up? Everybody remembered that photo. They came to the open house. They're like, where's the Mustang? Where's the Mustang? I'm like, oh, well, that's, it's mine. I didn't want to bring it because there's going to be a lot of cars here and I don't want people like touching it and kids scratching it and whatever.
Yeah, right.
But it made the house memorable because my job is to bring attention to that house and to sell that house. There are way too many realtors out there that feel that their job is to put a sign in the yard and then get listings from all the other neighbors. That's what they do. They use people's houses, leave the sign in the yard as long as they can just to get listings from other neighbors. That's not our job. That's not my job. My job is to sell their house, treat their money like it's my money. And if I send $1 out on a little field trip, I want him to come back with 3 of his friends. And so if I can do that with my clients, then they refer me and they're grateful for it because they know. And I tell them the same thing. I go, I will never, ever, ever allow money or a paycheck to get in the way of doing what's right for you. If something comes up and there needs to be a solution and right side and left side won't break, I will find a solution. And I've yet to be able to find a solution that didn't work.
That's great. Well, you're a man of solutions and someone that obviously is establishing trust with all their clients. Because you just mentioned about asking someone to be in the video. They've seen your videos and they see the quality that you put into them, the care that you put into them, and they trust you. So they're even apt. Because I don't know why we're not involving some of our, especially clients that have worked with us and had a great experience to be in the video testimonials. Have you ever done any video testimonials, by the way?
Not testimonials. I like to have my clients in my videos.
There you go. So they trust that they can be in that video and it's going to be a great video.
Well, they want to have cameos. So I've done the Forrest Gump one. The older lady that's in that video. I see her every day in my gym, and we talk about it every day. And I did one about farm animals. That was the owner of that house, and so we did a video at her place. And so I like to incorporate them in and or their pets if I can. Because it makes them feel a part of it. And then what I find is that, when you open yourself up and you allow other people into your world, guess what's going to happen? They're going to share your video. They're going to share it with all their friends. If they're a nurse, they're going to share it with the entire hospital. Check this out. Oh my God. And then I get a lot of referrals that way. It's not my intent to get the referrals. The videos are purely for fun and I love doing them now. But there is a boomerang effect. What goes around comes around. You put out good in the world and good is going to come back. You put out, bad vibes, guess what's going to happen? Your business is going to tank. And so for me, if I can make it a little more inclusive and have individuals as a part of my business and get them vested into my business in a fun way, doesn't cost me anything. Why the hell not? Why wouldn't I do that?
Why the hell not? I don't know why you wouldn't do that, but you mentioned fun a lot, and I think that's why you are so excited to do that next video, because the video you just did was fun. You had a good time. It filled you up, filled up your bucket, feeling good about it. So I find, tell me if you agree with this statement, that a lot of agents or just small business people in general, being too professional is hurting their business, that not having fun, they're not relating fun to professionalism. I think they're missing out. What do you feel about that?
So the timing of that question, and this is all non-scripted. Ryan just said he wanted to interview me, but the timing of that question actually couldn't be better. So I just talked to my wife about this because my wife Jamie does all of our advertising for Bricks 33, the restaurant that we own.
Yes.
She started doing some stuff that was so much different than any other restaurant out there. We're packed every single night now because people are seeing and sharing these videos, and it's kind of quirky. You got to go to the Bricks. It's Bricks 33 Fine Dining and Bistros
Check
page.
that out.
So if you go on there, you'll see the videos that she makes. But now what we noticed is all the other local restaurants are starting to copy what she did.
Of course.
Because all they were doing was taking pictures and going, hey, come on in. Hey, look at this. Amazing bread.
That's not
amazing
fun.
This. But now they're starting to see it because we're packed every single night. And this restaurant was never packed prior to us taking ownership. I shouldn't say that. The owners were fantastic. The guy named Mark, who was the head chef there, I value his friendship more than he knows. But we've taken it to another level, a
Absolutely.
complete other level. And a lot of that is based on, you know, the partnership that I have with the other owners, and then my wife's marketing. And if you want to see what expert marketing looks like, that literally takes her 5 minutes to do on a phone, go onto the Bricks 33 page and you'll see some of the fun stuff that she does. And she shares it on, you know, every social media medium that she can. But the engagement we get when people walk through the door and they're like, that video that you posted was awesome, and that's why we're here.
I love that, and I'm a big advocate of R&D. I don't believe that there's anything new under the sun. We're just too far into the future. I believe we got 26 alphabetical letters. We put them in different ways. Everyone said everything. Everything's been said and done. But you do it in a way that comes out of Mike Constantine. Your wife does things that only Jamie can do the way she does it. Are you afraid of people R&D in your content, ripping off and duplicating? Is that a concern for you at all? It's a concern for some agents out there. But how do you feel about that?
I want them to.
There you go. Me too.
I want them to.
What a beautiful thing.
And this is the reason I want them to. And I've had plenty of agents ask me the same thing, because I was the first guy to put a cartoon on a billboard and a cartoon on the back of my business card, and I did that
Yeah.
because I was yeah, right, there it is.
There he is.
Didn't even realize. But I did that because I looked around, and there's so many realtors in Tampa Bay, and most of them belong on the cover of magazines. They're beautiful women, whatever. I'm like,
Good looking people.
I'm like, how can I compete with that? Okay, so I had to think out of the box. I go, I need something that is approachable, professional, and non-threatening. So I sought out a graphic designer, found that one,
Yeah.
and
great.
it's non-threatening. I had more hair back then, which I missed, by the way. But
Looking slick.
then I noticed I got a call from a local agent from Keller Williams, and he calls me up. He says, "Hey, man, I saw your card. I saw your ad. Do you mind if I do that?" I said, "Go ahead." I said, "I don't own the rights to cartoons." But then it turned into about 10, 15, 20 of them. And now I see a lot of them doing it.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay. And I like to be the first. You know, I like to be the
Absolutely.
first to try something. So in this area, I was the first one to try a podcast. And now
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of others trying to do podcasts and
Absolutely.
stuff. And then, you know, for video, nobody does video like me, period.
And they can't.
Well, they can. No, they can. But they don't do it the way that I do it.
That's what I'm talking about.
And so I network with agents across the country, and I've tried to find someone else that does videos the way that I do it. I've seen a couple of them do one video. There was a realtor somewhere that did a video based on Adele, and this woman had some chops. I mean, she could sing,
Yeah.
and she was damn good. She did one video and then never did another one.
Obscurity level number 2. Forgot about you. She
Yeah.
did that one video.
Right, but
Should've
I
followed
mean,
up.
literally, I think hundreds of thousands, if not millions of likes. She was really good, wrote the lyrics, it
Wow.
was awesome, and then just okay, I did it, now I'm done. You have to do it at least on a semi-regular basis. Do it once a quarter, once every 2 weeks, once, you know, every 6 months. Stay relevant.
Yeah.
And if you have the vocals to be able to do that,
What a gift.
why the hell? There's a realtor here locally that tried out for American Idol. She's in my brokerage. I think she's absolutely amazing as a realtor and as a person. She won't sing. I'm like, you have an amazing voice. She won't do it.
There's so many people that are going to unfortunately get to the end of their life and have so many songs still within them, so many great ideas that they're not able to do, but you're executing and you're seeing the benefits of it. That's why I'm here today, because you are one of the best agents creating fun and engaging content. You know, you got Brad McCollum. He's himself, but he does a lot of really high production listing videos and whatnot. He's a 7-figure GCI earner, RETV. But as far as fun and engaged, so watch Mike. Go ahead and rip off and duplicate. I'll give you permission. Take some of his ideas and run with them. You can't be Mike, but you can be you. You can be you and get inspired from some of the stuff that you're doing. I know we've only got so much time, and there's some things I need to know and the people need to know.
Yeah, go nuts.
Like the modern agent, is it a requirement for the modern agent moving forward, getting into the shifting market? Is it a requirement to do video? And if not, like what are they missing out on by not doing video?
So, great question. The answer is no. The goal, in my opinion, of any agent is be your authentic self. That's
Yeah.
it. If you can go out and be authentic, and I don't care if it's on video, I don't care if it's how you list a property, you have to be something that's memorable. I always tell my wife on my tombstone, at least I wasn't boring. That's what I wanted to say, because I approach life every
I
day.
know that'll
I have
be
a
there.
very positive attitude every day. I'm always high energy no matter what. You have to make sure that whatever you do is your authentic personality, because people read through bullshit.
Absolutely.
And there's way too many out there that they're literally spewing the same lines. And it's actually, if you watch, I watch the realtor rankings all the time, and I just watch them fall.
Yeah.
And there's one that was a pretty big agent for a very long time and just sunk like a rock, because people peel back that onion and they're like, yeah, I don't want to do business with that anymore.
Yeah, it's no like and trust. And we hear it in every sales meeting across the nations. No like and trust. If you lose that likability factor, or you just disappear, yeah, it's going to be hard to keep the train rolling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are some people out there that you follow that inspired you? What are some agents out there? I know you mentioned a couple of people out there, but is there anybody who's like really almost competing with, like, they got great videos, like it kind of makes me want to do more, get more creative? Anybody out there
in the local market? No.
Well,
I don't think anybody competes with me. And it sounds pretty arrogant. I just
it's
don't.
true. I can confirm that's true. That's
I
why I'm
can't
here.
think of a single agent that's in the Tampa Bay or Florida market, period, that does the videos that I do. But fortunately, I network with people outside of the state. I'll tell you
Absolutely.
one guy that I went to high school with, that does different types of videos than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Igo. If you look up Chris Igo and Igo Realty, he's down in West Palm Beach.
Okay.
He provides valuable content. His videos are long, but they're good.
Okay.
And I watch his stuff. He doesn't do the quirky commercials like I do, but he provides content that is on a very, every 2 days, every 3 days he films a new
Just
video.
YouTube content.
Oh yeah, he's got it's a Igo Real Estate, IGOE.
Check that out.
And so if you check him out, Jason Rains out in Kansas City, he does similar videos to what I do, but he's I love Jason. He just does them a lot differently.
Yeah.
He doesn't get into the full singing thing. He'll auto tune his voice, but it works for him. And that guy to me is the success story that I love watching, because he called me, and we talked one day, and he's like, "Look, man, this is 2 years ago now, I think, or 3 years ago." And he's like, "I'm not producing it at a very high level. I want to be the number one guy in this and that." I said, "Dude, just be yourself. Do video, be yourself, whatever." And so he just started doing that, and he instantly became I think he's the number one guy in his office now in a very short period of time.
Imagine that.
And I called him up like, "How's that feel?" He goes, "Pretty good." And now I guess his wife's getting into real estate. He started filming videos with a Bigfoot costume on, and people like it, like literally a full like movie scale. He went and ordered. I'm like, dude, it's actually kind of funny, but it's memorable.
Yes.
So people around there know him because they like his personality.
And he's giving permission for people that do like Bigfoot, that don't ever talk about it, to come out of the woodworks and start appreciating Bigfoot, because he's giving them permission to do so.
If you look,
a lot of Bigfoot fans out there, man.
There's a yeah,
there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of different people out there these days.
I know. But be yourself, whoever you are. Introvert, extrovert, tall, skinny, soft, great singer, terrible singer. Be who you are on video. I'm hearing that a lot. The theme here.
So you're a good example of this, right? So
I'm unapologetically myself most of the time.
I met you through Facebook. So we have a lot of common friends. Tampa's, 2 degrees of separation. Everybody knows somebody. And I was watching your stuff, and there's one time we got in an argument about something.
Yeah, I love that. My best friends, I always argue with my best friends,
But it was about how we argued, because we both got our point across, but it didn't turn into a big FU match the way that, everybody's an internet tough guy. You get on the keyboard and then you meet him face to face, and it's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. But we had a really healthy discussion around it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up going doing a podcast with you over at, Mac Moves.
Yeah.
And
which was great.
And we've talked more often, but you have kind of branched out in a lot of different ways, because I know you're big in, I think it's the ministry. You're very big into that.
Absolutely.
Are you a preacher, or?
I am a licensed minister. I just married my cousin's, my second wedding here this last week.
You can't say that in Florida, that you married your cousin. You got to say, I officiated the wedding of my cousin,
gonna be a
because
clip right there.
You're going to go all Joe Dirt. You're my sister. You're my sister. We're not doing that here.
Okay, I didn't marry my cousin. I officiated. I'm the celebrant.
Hey man, you do you, if that's what you're into.
Hey, I'm being myself.
But you're always the same person. When I watch your videos, there's no bullshit with you. You're the same person. You bring that energy. You're very fortunate. Like, I got a face for radio, you got a face for video, and you do that, and now you're morphing it into marketing. I'd love to go do a video marketing class with you. I would
love that too,
because I love how you present. I love watching how you present content to people, because you're engaging, but you're not overbearing, and you don't come across the way that a lot of presenters, when I go to some of these big national conferences, they almost talk down to you. You don't do that.
I've heard that.
And I've tuned them out.
I've been in that audience.
Yeah.
Being talked down to and whatnot. But yeah, I just found recently the engagement is so important. I don't want to be a talking head anymore. I did that for a long while, and it might be high energy and whatnot. But this last class that I did in front of like 100 KW agents and whatnot, I got the whole room engaged, and we really got the hands on. It got everybody out of their seats, and it was just the best feedback ever because I wasn't just up there talking and spewing all this stuff, talking down to people like you need to know this, this, and this. Write all this down and go out and do it. It's like we're gonna do it right here. We make it happen. We made some reels. We did everything right there, and it was super engaged. So thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. I'm definitely clipping that out and putting that.
No, clip it out. I mean, look, I say what I mean. I mean what I say.
I really appreciate that a lot. Do you have any rituals or anything you do? Do you do jumping jacks? Do you get on a rebounder? Anything you do to get ready for a video? Is there any specific ritual? You just get in there.
I just have fun.
Get it done.
I just have fun. I love ad-libbing more than being scripted because the scripted ones.
Yeah.
When I first started out, when I did them with JL, and he's gonna hate me for this, not Jordan, but we did a scripted video, right?
Yeah.
And it was Back to the Realtor, so it was a take on Back to the Future, and I love him to death.
Idea.
The guy that's like a brother to me, Theo Papapanos over at Christos, freaking guy couldn't get his damn lyric. He had like 4 lines, and he just kept screwing them up. So finally, I went to his wife. I'm like, "Can you take the lines? Like seriously, it's like 90 degrees out. We're dying here." So she took his lines, got him on the first take. She's a school teacher over at Starkey. Lynette is amazing. Happy birthday! It was her birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday!
We're at the restaurant, but the unscripted videos, it's so much more fun just to see the spontaneous reactions as opposed to having to remember, a specific line that makes it work, because I noticed that I could see it on the faces of certain people. And
you sure can.
Once again, be your authentic self, have a good time.
Have you seen the 2 old people making that commercial where the old guy has to say the buttery and crispy line and his wife keeps getting mad at him? Look that up on YouTube. It's absolutely hilarious. This guy's got like one line and he's with his wife and she's giving him hell for not being able to get these lines down. Yeah, be yourself, be authentic. And I tell people, like in my classes too, a lot of people get hung up on the words. Like, I got to have the right words. With delivery of a video, it's about 10% of the importance of your video. It's about the conviction, the belief, the movement, the nonverbal communication that you're given, that is so much more important than the words. Don't get hung up on the words, folks. I'm definitely glad I got to say that here. Do you agree with that?
I agree 100%.
The knowledge, the expertise, the belief in what you're saying, and the movement.
If you watch, good example would be the Bon Jovi retake that I did. The lyrics that I rewrote to go with the song. During that, so there was one part where I was like, the AC is so cold, and I'd go ahead.
Yeah, there it is.
And I was going like this, so that way people knew, because if they couldn't hear what the lyric was,
right,
the AC is so cold. So I'd go like that to let them know, and I'm standing by I'm right. So it's nonverbal stuff. And then if you're talking about open landscapes, body language is a very big thing. I went through a lot of classes in the military on body language, and so it always kills me when I see a realtor's photograph like this. They all have that same,
don't come near me.
That or the hands in the pocket. Hands in the pocket means you're hiding something.
Yes.
This means you're very closed off. It cracks me up when I see these things, because
open up.
Right. You got to, if you look at anyway, study body language.
Study body language.
And it's going to tell you a lot. Yeah, it's going to tell you a lot.
It is. I mean, when I got my legs crossed right now, if you can see under here, I mean, that's even an indication that there's something. But I'm just sitting the way I'm sitting right now. But anyway, having a great time here on your podcast. Do you believe this video thing is a fad? Do you believe that this thing's going away soon?
I think everything changes. The internet is constantly evolving. There's some new stuff coming out that's actually really scary that I saw, to where you can be sitting here and I could be sitting here on this podcast, and there's a software that's going to be available, I think they said by 2025.
Yeah.
That'll make you look like whoever you want. You can look like Tom Cruise, and I'm over here as Val Kilmer.
The deep fakes.
Deep fakes. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and it's nothing different. My voice will sound like Val Kilmer. You'll sound exactly like Tom Cruise. That's scary. I don't like that kind of stuff, because that's very easy to, if you wanted to ever like ruin somebody's reputation, you could simply make a video from somebody else's phone and then just share it out there. And that's scary. And I think you're going to see so much litigation coming. But it's terrible to think about, but you always have to prepare for the worst.
I think we need litigation for the 20-year agents who still have their
the glamour shot
from from Olin Mills from like 5 years in, and it's like, we meet you at the listing appointment. Are you I need to call the police. This is not who I had invited over to my house.
And there should be an automatic fine for any realtor that has that stupid cell phone picture where they're holding it up.
Hey,
Like,
so many agents. I take pictures of agents sometimes, and they just love that.
it's so bad. It's so bad.
It just represent like we're busy, you know. We're about to take a call, but yeah, that's a popular pose out
Right.
there. But there's other things we could do. Are you much of a consumer? Are you scrolling? Are you on social media? Obviously,
I don't go on that often. I usually go on once a day. It's first thing in the morning,
yeah.
and I just check out what I want to check out.
So you're a creator. You're what I want everyone to be. You're less of a consumer and more of a creator.
Mm.
You are a creator. That's what I want.
I don't
all
have
of us to be.
time to sit on the internet all
Yeah.
day. I just don't. You
Now-
know.
Social espionage. You mentioned some stalking. Some people call it that. Whatever. We're looking at people. We're all doing that. That's what social media is about. But I call it social espionage, and it's really great. It's go out there and find some ideas, connect with people, start commenting on stuff that you like. I love. How many videos have you done? Probably not a whole lot, but I know this has happened. Had to have. Where you've made a video and someone say, "I loved your video." Like, I didn't see you weren't commenting on my video. You didn't share it. You didn't like it or anything. Does that happen often?
Yeah.
They're still watching.
Mhm.
They're watching the video even if they didn't engage.
I don't care about the comments.
Mm-hmm.
I care about the phone calls, the text, and the views.
Yes, the actual results
Big-
of
And this is why. If I see people don't like to put their name on something and like it because everybody knows 35 realtors. And if
Oh,
their
yeah.
friend says, "Oh, why did you
Know
like
way
so
more
and
than
so's
that.
video?" To me, it's so childish.
It
you
is
know,
very
I like
childish.
other restaurants pages. I like other realtor stuff. If they're doing something good, yeah, I like it. You know, whatever. But if I look at the likes and I see 40, and then I see the views 780,
right.
that tells me a couple things. Either they're watching it multiple times, or they've shared it and other people are watching it multiple times. That's where I can see, okay, I hit the target or if I'm off the target.
Yes.
And every now and then, like recently, I reshared the Rio video, and I just wanted to see. And I've looked at the views compared to the likes were like 14. It was like nothing. It was a bad day to do it. I did it on a Saturday. I was just bored. And then
right.
and then I watched the views, and then I got private messages, and then I got someone that called me saying, "Oh, but I was thinking about listing my house. Can you come over?" Damn right I can come over. I was there that afternoon, and we're listing it in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I'm not just going out. I don't want people to just do video for the sake of video. I want you to do what Mike's talking about right now and get actual conversations. I want conversations to get started that lead to bettering their life or bettering their financial situation through buying or selling a home, getting to closing with them, helping them out. Actually getting in to some sort of giving them value. It's not about just making videos because everyone's doing it or checking off that box like you said. It's about putting out content that's fun, engaging, keeping you top of mind, that is bringing conversations about. They're messaging you. They're giving you that phone call. It's not about just being a whatever.
And
you
if you're
think gonna
uncomfortable
be.
doing it yourself, guess what? You work in a brokerage. I'm pretty sure you're friendly with a few people in that brokerage.
Exactly.
Have a good time. Include them in it. Include your family members in it.
Yes.
Include your neighbors in it.
Yes.
I mean, I have a video that I'm working on that's going to, the house that I can get where the neighbors are really cool,
Yeah.
it's going to take some pretty cool neighbors to do
love
what I
cool
want to do.
neighbors. Yeah.
And so if I can get the neighbors involved in this one, then it's going to be, I promise you it's going to be comedy gold.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for it. But,
I can't wait either.
Get people involved that you're comfortable with. So that way it lowers your level of nerves. So the pressure's not just on you.
Yes, do what we're doing right now. There's so many podcasts. You said there's a million podcasts out there. Get on a podcast. We've got an hour worth of material here. We've got it on video. Do the same thing. One camera video. Cut out some of those clips. That's your content. You can make 7, 15 hour amount. And then you can have 2 months worth of content, clipping out different pieces of that. And I'm having a conversation with Mike right here. I don't have any pressure. We're talking. We're having a good time. I had a few questions I wanted to ask, but it's conversational.
Oh, you
And
had
it's
more
so
than a
much
few.
easier. I know. Well, he's like, give me some, give me a little outline and whatnot. And I just busted these off.
And then I
just
got
sitting there.
War and Peace sent to me through Facebook Messenger. I was like, damn, man, it's only a 45-minute podcast.
I know. Yeah, but it's so much easier. And I want to shout out Glenda Baker as far as viral content on TikTok and whatnot. She has a hard time looking at the camera, but she has a Sam. She's got a guy with her, someone could get at their brokerage, their son, sit them next to the camera. If you have I know it's hard to talk to a plastic piece of rectangle or a circle or whatnot. I get it. Put somebody next to the camera and have a conversation with them because you really got to be lighthearted. You really got to be relaxed. You really got to be open. And if it's hard to look into the camera, have somebody off to the camera. Tell stories. Make content where you're having a conversation. Don't forget it's supposed to be conversational. It's not supposed to be scripted and super professional and tight and all that. And I don't care if you're in the luxury market either. You need to loosen up a bit. You gotta have some fun. Mike's having fun, and Mike's productive, right?
I'm pretty busy.
I know he's a busy man.
I'm pretty bad. Yeah, they asked me, how the hell did you find time to take on a restaurant? I said, why not? It's a challenge. It's at night. My real estate is generally done during the day. You go, you get one trip around this sun. I want to try it. So we did it. It's taken off. It's great. Don't ever be scared of a challenge. Now, you were talking about having a camera in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like looking right at the camera. That's one of my bugaboos. So I always look.
I can understand.
So if you're filming me right now and you're the camera, I'm looking right above your head because I don't like seeing someone with a camera going like that, but it still looks like your eyeballs are going right into the camera.
Right.
So that's kind of like a little trick that I use. I'll either look to the right, to the left, or right above the camera.
Yeah.
Just because when you're looking at it, it puts pressure. I don't care who you are, it puts pressure on you.
It absolutely puts pressure on you, and practice makes perfect, and done is better than perfect. Here's a tip for that too. Anybody watching, if you have somebody that you easily have a conversation with, I know this sounds silly, but print out their face. Seriously, print out their face and put it above the camera, and remember that you're talking to that person, and talk to that person. Talk to the camera as if you were talking to that person, or look right above the camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little tip, it's a trick, but it works because it's supposed to be having a fun conversation when you're doing these videos. Man, one last thing. I know we're coming up on an hour here, so you're the runner of the podcast, so you tell me when to stop. But what are some ultimate tips for becoming a creator on video? Like, what is just like your best tip for someone to get started today, or get out of their own way, or forget how they sound or how they look? What's your ultimate tip?
Film a video, show it to yourself. Don't share it with the world, and then see what you like, see what you don't like. Okay. Maybe share it with a couple friends. So for me, what I did, because great question, by the way, I had a watch party.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Jordan Lung calls me, or I called Jordan. I said, "Hey man, I'm gonna have a watch party at my house." I said, "I'm gonna have the thing catered. I want literally 20 people there that I value their opinion." He's like, "Nobody's ever done that."
Right.
I said,
"It's a great
I
idea.
need to know what to expect." I knew instantly. We had 5 videos we filmed. I knew instantly which one I had to release first.
That is a really, really good tip right there. That is awesome.
It was nothing. I mean, bought them some pizza, made some hamburgers, whatever. People came over, had some drinks. The response that I got on the Forrest Gump video, I'm like, that's got to be the one, because everyone's like, "Holy cow, that was ridiculous!" And then
awesome.
the other ones, I said, "Hey, what did you think of this one, this one, this one?" And I got some feedback that helped me with future videos too. So invite 5, 10, 15, 20 of your closest friends.
Have a premiere.
Have a premiere. Make it fun. Make it an event, and then say, "Hey, if any of you guys want to be in my videos," and from that party, I had about 8 people in my future videos because like, "I want to do this with you. I want to be a part of it."
Absolutely.
Great. Let's go.
And I know you said things change, and they do. The only thing that's inevitable in this life is absolutely change. And there's going to be deep fakes. There's going to be virtual reality coming up. We're going to be maybe having a buyer console in the metaverse. Things like that are going to happen.
Freaking metaverse.
Absolutely. Yeah, whatever. Listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, don't think that this might be something that will eventually change as all things do. But if you're just getting started in video, you are at the bottom floor. This video thing is going to continue to grow because there's also other ways to use video. I'm a former BombBomb.com top 5 video influencer in the mortgage business. I was using videos to connect with clients, tell them bad news, show them empathy, connect with them, being able to supplement some of our faceless digital communication. We're all sending out campaigns and, black text on white backgrounds, and sending off some videos outside of social media, connecting with people, especially during this social distance era that we have, and filling in that lack of physical proximity with psychological proximity. There's so many ways to use video, but we're mainly talking about your awesome social media videos today, and you being a top influencer in that field. Find Mike and watch his videos. Get inspired by this guy right here, because he is one of the best in the country. I'll tell you that right now, right into the camera. But get some inspiration from him. I mean, it's not too late to get started.
And just make it yourself. If you're comfortable filming, videos in your house, start there. If you're comfortable filming in a park, start there. If you're comfortable filming at, a place of worship that you go to, great. I would try to keep, separation church and state from real estate,
absolutely.
But it doesn't matter. Whatever you are comfortable with, go do it. If you want to do infomercials, do a freaking infomercial.
Yeah.
The number of realtors that have come to me, including at the Tampa Bay thing, and they said, "Hey, I want to try something, but I'm not a comedic person." Great. Then be an informative person.
Right.
Go sit down, have a conversation with a Ryan Owen, start asking him about settlement services and how that works, and Ask specific questions around like ladybird deeds or stuff that people don't hear about all the time.
100%.
Talk to a mortgage person about a 1003. Talk to a home inspector about hurricane clips. Get a general contractor in and talk about how slabs are formed and all that. There's different ways to do it to where you can actually be your own guest, but you're asking questions at the same time and learning. So include other people in your network, make them feel important. At the same time, give information to people that may want it or need it. And then your business is going to grow from there. And by doing that, you're going to get comfortable behind the camera, and it's going to add value to your business. And then as soon as you start seeing the ROI in whatever form that is, whether it's from likes and the dopamine that hits from the likes, or if it's financial or whatever it is,
yes,
that's what you're looking for. The ultimate goal is engagement. And if that engagement comes financially, if it comes through, personal interactions, any engagement is good engagement. There is no substitute for hustle. And if you're not doing it, it's the Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last.
I have found by putting myself out there, moving from Ohio to Florida, going from zero to zero network to thousands of people who know me through video. Once you think there's walls a certain place, but when you start showing up on video, and you do that on a mass scale with video, you don't just do it one-to-one, which is my favorite way of interacting, but now you can do one-to-many. There are doors that pop up in those where there was only once walls. Opportunities happen.
Yep.
There are all kinds of different things that you didn't even know were going to be available to you that will happen from showing up. Yeah. And I do want to say one last thing. Do the things that you're passionate about too. It's so much easier to make this all happen when you're doing things you're passionate. Start that cooking show. Show the people about your love of dogs. It doesn't have to be just about real estate or your specific field. I want to end it on that because there's so much more to you, and especially to you, adventurous, all these other things other than real estate. Invite some of that into your content.
Share your hobbies with the world. You'll be surprised how many people might become interested in it.
Yes.
And all the people that have moved to Florida, maybe they're not familiar with fishing. Start showing them how to tie certain fishing knots for grouper fishing.
Viral.
Start showing them, right. It's just stupid little things that you don't think about that come regular to you. So, Ryan, awesome having you here.
This has been fun.
First time I've been interviewed on the Mic'd Up podcast, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to hold you to that seminar. I'd love to go do one of those with you. I think it could be a lot of fun.
It will be.
And we will see everyone next time on the next episode of the Mic'd Up podcast. Thanks for tuning in.